360.
Half an hour.
Okay.
I know, but
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. So we're on a high. We're on a journey to living an amazing life. And we said that it's actually a science. Like every game in life, there's a time limit, there's a goal, there are consequences, rewards, there are rules, there are skills, tactics, methods, there's an attitude, there's a personal expression, there's a role. Every single game. So if you know the goal of the game, and the rules of the game, and the skills, and you train yourself, you'll do well in the game. Life's no different. Life's a game, it has a time limit. You're not going to be here forever. It has a goal. There's something you're meant to achieve whilst you're here. There are rules that you have to stick to in order to achieve those rules. There are different skills and methods and tactics. There's different attitudes, different roles in the game of life. So as long as you work out what you need to do, you'll be able to do it. So it's basically guaranteed success. If you have the right inputs, you'll have the right outputs. So you just have to have the right inputs. Most people never learn the right inputs, so they don't get the right outputs. So far we just broke it down. 3 steps. What's your goal? What do you need to do in order to achieve the goal? Do those things. That's it. So if your goal is to lose weight, what do I need to do to lose weight? Do those things. You will lose weight. Your goal is to be happy. Well, what does it take to be happy? Do those things. And what gets in the way of happiness? Avoid those things. And then you will be happy. It really does work like that. And we said number 1 and 2 are quite easy. It's quite easy to identify the goal and the steps. Part 3 is very difficult because you have all your issues and your emotions and troubles and whatever. But if you have enough self-control and support and whatever you need, then you will be able to do it. Good? That's where we came to so far. So we define success as to the extent you achieve the purpose, you are successful. In any area of your life, successful operation, you achieve the purpose of the operation. Successful marriage, you achieve the purpose of the marriage. Successful game, you achieve the purpose of the game. So successful life is you achieve the purpose of life. So we said, okay, what is the purpose of life? For all of humanity in general, we said self-actualization, become the greatest person that you can possibly become. And we divided that into 2 things. Number 1 is your purpose. In Hebrew is your tachlit, which means character traits. For now, character traits. A great person is not a rich person, isn't a great person if he's beating his wife. A talented person isn't a great person if he's depressed. So talents and money and looks and all of that don't make you a great person. What makes you a great person is a great personality, which is defined by your character traits. Are you kind, loving, peaceful, playful, friendly, non-judgmental, compassionate? And have you got rid of jealousy, doubt, anxiety, fear, worry and hatred? And then we said the other part of being a great person is impact. How much impact, positive impact are you having on the world around you? How many people are you helping? And that's called your tough kid, your role. So you've got your tough kid, your purpose is to refine yourself, perfect yourself to the extent that you can. And your role, your tough kid, is to perfect the world, refine the world around you, that's all. And we said, what's amazing about these 2 things is A, is completely up to you. You get to choose how much you refine yourself and impact the world. It's completely up to you. And B is the key to everything you want in your life, which we said was happiness, self-esteem, meaning, and good relationships. So the key to happiness, self-esteem, meaning, and good relationships is actually living up to these 2 values. Be good and do good. Improve yourself, improve the world, growth and contribution. If you live up to those 2 values, then you will have happiness. You have that. And it's up to you. Amazing. So then last class we said, well, how are you living up to your values? Are you spending your spare money on things that are actually making you a better person and making the world a better place? So if it's weed and pizza and clothes, then you're not. You're not a bad person, but you're not going to be successful and be happy. And spare time, what are you doing in your free time? Is that making you a better person and changing the world? Well, if it's going on your screen and going on TikTok and hanging out and getting drunk, that's not doing anything. If it's volunteering in orphanages or going to the gym to be fit and healthy or learning Torah, then yes, that is taking you. So are you living in line with your values? So all you have to do is live in line with your values. One major one we said was, what's more important, being good or looking good? So everyone says, well, being good is obviously more important than looking good. Okay, but what do you spend most of your time doing? You spend most of your time trying to look good. even say the best of our Torah or clothes and stuff. So people are investing in looking good rather than being good. Even if you do look good, that doesn't guarantee happiness and good relationships, whereas being good does guarantee happiness and good relationships. What's more important, feeling good, just physical, I eat that food, smoke that, drink that, watch that, just make me feel good, or doing good. So everyone knows doing good is more important than feeling good, but what are you spending more time, effort, money on? On feeling good. You're spending more time on your own personal entertainment and physical pleasure than you are on trying to make the world a better place. Your personal entertainment and physical pleasure is actually not going to make you a great person, or a happy person, or meaningful life and self-esteem, whereas actually impacting the world around you is going to give you all of those things. Very clear? So all you have to do to live an amazing life is have the right values, which is be good and do good, and live up to them. Living up to them is difficult. Living up to them is difficult, but we're going to work out how to live up to them. Do you have a question?
Yeah. So like with like the example of making yourself feel good first in the world. You said like pizza and like clothes and all that.
You can eat pizza and have
no, I know that's okay. You're supposed to like in everything in moderation, obviously. But what I mean more is like, let's say like you're getting pizza for like you're studying with people, and you're getting pizza for everybody, like everybody else.
Okay, good. So we're going to answer this question today. So we just defined success. You want a successful life. How about this? Who wants a meaningful life? You want a meaningful life? Meaningful life. Okay, what makes something meaningful? And I've basically given you the answer already. But what makes something meaningful? Because if you want a meaningful life, you have to do meaningful things. So what is meaningful? I understand that many people don't have a meaningful life. They're going to jobs that they don't like. They're going to degrees that they don't like and they'll never use. They're getting up late. They're being unhealthy. They're spending all their time watching entertainment. They're basically living deeply meaningless lives, which actually completely strips your vitality, sense of self, and joy in it. So it's very, very, very important for you to be living a meaningful life. What makes something meaningful? Is it that you enjoy it?
No.
Absolutely not. You enjoy lots of things. Is it that you really, really care about it? I'm so invested in it, I care about it, I get upset. Does that make something meaningful? No, you can care about a completely meaningless thing, fifth division baseball, and cry about it, and the card game you're playing with your 11-year-old son. So people care about actually particularly meaningless things. So what makes something meaningful?
If it's selfless.
Yeah, doing good for
Pardon?
others.
If it's selfless. No?
That might be an aspect. I just want to define
Uplifting.
what makes something meaningful.
Something that's improving either your life or life itself.
There you go. If it's tapping you into the purpose, then it's meaningful. Meaning and purpose go hand in hand. So, not that I think this is a meaningful goal necessarily, but if you want to win the gold medal in the Olympic Games, going out and getting wasted with your friends, that's not meaningful. That's taking you away from your goal. Whereas training really hard, that's meaningful because it has meaning towards your purpose. Not that I don't think it's a meaningful purpose, but we'll talk about that as well. So something is meaningful if it is taking you towards the purpose, the goal. Good? We're okay with that. Now we know what the purpose and the goal is, which is be good and do good. Improve yourself and improve the world. So therefore, our definition is very clear. Something is only meaningful if it is making you a better person and or making the world a better place. Is that fair? Sounds fair to me. It's only meaningful if it's making you a better person and or making the world a better place. Brilliant. So now think about your average person's average day. What percentage of their day is actually invested in things that are making them better people and making the world a better place? By the way, you guys are doing great. Because you're coming, you're sitting, and you're learning, and you're asking questions, and you're trying, and you're taking notes. And so the fact that you're here shows that you're living a meaningful, just being here is living a meaningful life. So how about this? Running an orphanage, meaningful or not?
Yes.
100%. Beating up old ladies, stealing their money, meaningful or not?
Yes.
Playing sport, meaningful or not?
Depends on your
Good. So now we have a middle ground. We've got a middle ground, which I call meaningless. So be careful. Something is meaningful if it's directly taking you towards your purpose. Something is, I call it anti-meaning, if it's taking away from your purpose. Then we have meaningless things that can go either way. So if playing sport is intrinsically meaningless, it doesn't, unless it's keeping you healthy. You're doing it to keep healthy and emotionally balanced because you work really hard. So you want to go and shoot some hoops with your friends afterwards, and that helps you become a healthy, happy person. If you're on the basketball court roasting everyone and having terrible character traits, then that's anti-meaning.
Yeah.
If you're on the basketball court and when other people get a good shot and you say, wow, amazing shot, that was great, man. If the sport is creating strong friendship, that's meaningful. If it's creating competition, that's not meaningful. So there's a whole range of things that I call meaningless that could, depending on how and how much you use them, could be meaningful activity. Going to the gym, listening to music, doing art, although I think things like art and music, well, again, it could be either, but in general, healthy self-expression is very meaningful. Very meaningful. An artist needs to do art, and a musician needs to do music. Especially in yeshiva, by the way. If you come to yeshiva and you drop your hobby, you'll become an unhealthy person. And you'll come out to me in about 5 months from now and you'll say, look, I'm just not as happy as I used to be. And I say, well, are you doing your hobby? And you'll be like, no, because I'm learning Torah and it's more important. I'll be like, you're an idiot. You go and play some tennis, man. Because if you don't play tennis, you can't pray. You can't have a mincha. You need to be doing whatever you're journaling, wall climbing, do something, music. Musicians who are not playing music become unhealthy people, unhappy people. So in general, I think art and music, walking in nature, these are kind of almost intrinsically meaningful, but not if you want to be a musician so you can have a big ego and get rich and manipulate women. So that can also depend why you're doing it. So we understand very, very clearly. You have to ask yourself, what percentage of your day and your life is invested in meaningful things? And the more you're invested in meaningful things, the more successful you will be, the more you'll reach your goal. So someone who wants to win the gold medal in the Olympic Games, what percentage of their day are they doing meaningful things? 100%. 100%. They're going to sleep when they need to go to sleep, they're sleeping for the right amount of time, they're getting up, they're training in the right way, they're eating the right thing at the right time, and the time that they need a bit of a break, then the break becomes meaningful. But the break isn't including smoking weed, or the break is maybe watching other athletes and learning, whatever, doing Tai Chi. They're much more meaningful ways to downtime. And even entertainment. Entertainment is intrinsically not meaningful. Intrinsically not meaningful. The more meaningful your life is, the less entertainment you need. How about that? Beatboxing. I love beatboxing. I find it very, very entertaining. Dopamine. Look up wing dopamine. I love beatboxing. So you can watch a half-hour world championship beatbox battle. But what would I take out of my day in order to do that? Firstly, is that going to make me a better person or the world a better place? No, it's going to be entertaining, which might be good because I need some entertainment. But I'm going to take away time from my wife and children for that? No. I'm going to take away from exercise and meditation for that? No. I'm going to take away from writing books and helping people? No. I'm going to take away from learning Torah, prayer? No. So I'd love to watch it. I really think it's cool. There are loads of Netflix shows I'd like to watch. But I just don't have time because I'm living a deeply meaningful life. By the way, people who are living meaningful lives find that entertaining. I find it entertaining speaking. I enjoy this more than most people enjoy watching football. So is watching sport meaningful? Not meaningful, not making you a better place or the world a better place, not making you a better person, the world a better place. If you've got a terrible relationship with your son, so you take him to a match and you try to get a relationship, and you used a meaningless thing for a meaningful purpose, so it could be good. Although if that's the basis of your relationship, it's meaningful. Yeah, very simple. Very simple. So you should be, not in a neurotic OCD way, gently moving towards, and yesterday we said it in terms of living in line with your values, because it's the same thing, to now doing things that are meaningful. So you should ask yourself, once again, not in a weird OCD way, is what I'm now choosing to do making me a better person or the world a better place? And if it's not, try not to do it. Do it a little bit less. And if it is, do it. I'm running this online mindfulness course at the moment, and I gave them all a challenge. I said, 3 times a day when you're going to reach for your phone, reach for a snack that you don't need, or buy something, and 3 times a day just pull your hand back and say, Hashem, I just want to be close to you. That would be it. Just change your life. You're about to reach for your phone for the 15th time in the last 10 minutes, and you know you don't have another WhatsApp message. Just pull your hand back and say, Hashem, I just want you. If you could just consistently do those little things, but slowly. That's why I said 3 times a day. I think it should be 1,000 times a day. But I didn't say be perfect now, but growth means a healthy, slow process of starting to move in line with my values and living in line with my values. And to the extent that you're doing that, you will have a successful life, which means you will be happy, fulfilled, good relationships, self-respect. It's really not complicated. Don't need thousands of hours in psychological therapy. Now, obviously, in order to get rid of your trauma and abuse, fine, do some healing stuff. But it's actually very, very clear. Did you have a question?
Yeah, what is your thoughts on like movies or documentaries or the art in that form of entertainment that like spreads a message?
100%. So if you are going to watch, if you're going to go on YouTube and you've got a choice between watching a TED talk on how to deal with anxiety or some action adventure movie, then clearly one of them is much more meaningful than the other one, because that's one actually helping them. Or wildlife documentaries, so that you can say, wow, look how amazing Hashem's world is. It's much more meaningful than pornography. Is like opposite. You got sex and violence that's destroying your consciousness. You have programs, TED Talks and programs like that, who is actually helping your consciousness, and then you got the middle ground, which is wildlife documentaries and things like that. And then once in a while, as a little treat, you can watch the UFC top 10 head kick knockouts. That's my advice. Yes.
That was my question.
But you've got to be careful, because you start getting dopamine hits and then you're sucked in big time.
That was my question. Like, does making an unmeaningful thing, as using it as an incentive for you to do meaningful things, does that make it meaningful?
100%.
Yeah. Like, so
if you're using a non-meaningful thing in order to be able to have that strength and energy and resources to do it meaningfully, as long as it's not an anti-meaning thing, you can't say I'm going to use pornography to
right.
respect.
Exactly.
You can't do that. But you can, yes, I'm investing in this meaningless thing because I need it in order to have the strength, the energy, resources, and happiness and general feel good. If you watch some comedy thing that isn't anti-meaning, so you just feel a bit more light, and therefore you treat people better, that's lovely, that's great. Do that. So, many, many years ago, before you were born, I was walking through Ben Yehuda Street, and there was a big crowd around someone, so I pushed my way to the front. There was a guy doing yo-yo. But unbelievable. I don't know if you know how good someone could be at yo-yo. Double yo-yo, walk the dog, cradle, big speaker. Someone said to me, this is the second, he won number 2 in the World Championship yo-yo. Looked him up, I thought, it's actually him. I think it was an Argentinian Jew or something. And it was sick. It's actually sick what a human being could do with double yo-yo. And I watched for about 3 minutes, and I just walked away and I said, what a waste of time. You spent 500,000 hours becoming good at yo-yo? Are you a better person? Did you change the world? So some people say, well, he entertained those people who are watching and they felt good. Yeah, but entertainment in general is, so they gave them a little dopamine rush and then they carried on with their lives. It didn't actually help them. Watching a great yo-yo guy, not actually helping your life. I like the cliff jumping things. I was not helping your life because I love cliff jumping. But so to the extent that I watch it for 10 seconds, not repeatedly, so I need to see it again, but just to give me a little hit, it's dangerous. Yes, if it makes you in a better mood, so you treat your wife better, then do it. But there's got to be better ways to get in a better mood. So I walked away and I was like, what, this guy's an idiot. Then I thought to myself, hold on. if he uses his yo-yo skills to go down into the Bronx or whatever and get all these street kids and use his skill to empower them to find some way to get out of the ghetto, then it all becomes meaningful. We had a 4 Olympic gold medal winner swimmer. And you've got to be very good to win an Olympic gold. I forgot his name, Jew, and he started putting on TV. He was very interested. He came in. And I said to him in a very nice way, I just want you to know, moving your hands and feet very fast in water really does mean it. You're like, well done. But if you use your fame and your money to set up a swimming school for intercity kids who can't afford swimming lessons, then not only is that meaningful, but it actually makes all your hours of training meaningful, and it makes the gold medal meaningful. It, in retrospect, meaningfulizes everything you did. But only if you're using it to improve yourself, improve the world, make the world a better place. That's very simple. So you can take most, as long as they're not anti-meaning, you can take most meaningless things and make them meaningful. So here's another way of saying this, even more direct. The first way we said it was, have the right values and live up to them. The second way we said the same thing was, live a meaningful life. What does that mean? Do things that are taking you towards your goal. Live up to your values. The third way I think of it is even more simple. There's a major rule in my life. If it doesn't help, don't do it. So this is also the opposite. So far we've been talking about do things that help. Do things that take you towards your goal. Now I'm saying it the opposite. Don't do things that take you away from your goal. Don't do things that don't help. So you're looking at me as if I'm crazy. Well, who would ever do something that doesn't help, that doesn't work? And I'm like you all the time. When you get very frustrated that the bus isn't coming. That's not helping. That's not bringing the bus. When you get very worried about your exam results. That's not helping. You're not going to change your exam results. When you beat yourself up, when you overeat, when you look at social media and get jealous again of your friend and his girlfriend. That's not helping. When you get angry that you're stuck in a traffic jam, that's not helping. You're doing things that don't help a lot. Now don't feel bad about yourself, just stop doing them. But first you have to identify, yes, actually, what are the things I'm doing in my life that are not taking me towards my goal? I start doing them. Start doing it. If it doesn't work, don't do it. I gave a relationships class once to 70-year-old couples. And they were very cynical. And they looked at me and they're like, what are you going to teach us about relationship? I've been married since before you were born. And I said, give me a chance. They said, all right. Then I said, listen, first rule of relationships, if it doesn't work, don't do it. So they were like, idiot. Why would anyone do anything that doesn't work? And I said, well, do you ever argue? They're like, well, everyone argues. And I said, does it work? Does it help with emotional intimacy, respect, love? They're like, no. I said, great. I said, if it doesn't work, don't do it. I'll give you a relationships class. You don't have to argue, you can communicate. Communication works. That creates emotional intimacy. Arguing destroys emotional intimacy. Don't do that. But I'll give you a relationship class. But people are doing things that don't work the whole time. So if it doesn't work, don't do it. If you get a big cut on your arm, don't pour vinegar on it. It doesn't work, not a good thing to do. So if the bus isn't coming, isn't that bad enough? Why would you also get upset about it? You've got one thing to deal with, which is bad enough the bus didn't come. You're now going to ruin your day by being upset about it. And most of what you get upset about, you don't need to be upset about. When you're 90, you'll look back and realize, hold on, I didn't need to get upset about most of the things I got upset about.
5 minutes later, you'll say it.
Yeah, 5 minutes later, you'll say it. So that's another way of saying the same thing, but the getting away from the bad. The first two, live up to your values and live a meaningful life, is aseh tov. Do good things that are taking you towards your goal, meaningful. The last one I shared is sumira. Get away from the things that are not helping you, they're taking you away, they're anti-meaning. Stop investing in anti-meaning. If you do that, and by the way, who does this depend on? You. Only you. You get to choose. You get to choose how much you live up to your values. You get to choose how much you invest in meaningful things. You get to choose in how much self-control you have to not do the not meaningful things. Completely up to you. Problem is difficult. This is always going to be the problem. It's so much easier, the dopamine rush and the counterfeit pleasures, and it's easy to be a loser. And that's why most people really are living mediocre, not particularly good. Very easy to do that. So it's not easy to be a great person, but we're going to see the key motivating factor to achieve this. If you have this one thing properly, then you'll actually be able to achieve what I'm trying to tell you. And you're going to have to come on Sunday morning at 9:29. Be sitting here at 9:29. I'm going to tell you the key power you need in order to tap into a meaningful life.